Welcome back to some high-level StarCraft 2. Let me introduce to you, sending his Reaper directly across the map and what promises to be a highlight match, the People's Terran. It is Cure. And a remarkably even counterpart, ranked almost exactly the same right now in StarCraft 2, and I think a worthy challenger considering that Cure is not Maru. It is Ragnarok, one of the best Zerg players out there today, the Cyril Slayer, and I am Katowice. And I have it on good authority. This match goes the distance. So, get your pizza rolls, get your popcorn, get your granola bars, personal favorite. Like, subscribe, and let's get started. Don't let the standard cookie cutter starts fool you. Cure especially is well versed in games that go to very awkward situations, especially on this map. But I think I've seen more base trades and also unnecessary base trades out of Cure than almost any other player. Well, that was a rude grenade right there. Out of that Reaper. As Cure seems to find himself in this situation where he can't quite kill his opponent, but they can't quite kill him. And that has made for some of the most dramatic gameplay at the very least. Roaches on the way, and a whole bunch of them. 30-something drones, Ragnarok, 6 roaches to search. He's just gonna run by. Oh my god. Alright. The roaches are about to pop out, but maybe a split second too late. As a handful of drones are already dead. 3. Sees the roach horn, which is actually gonna wall off here. Loses 4 drones. But sees the roaches and realizes that the Banshee going to be very valuable on the way across the map. Behind this Cure. A bit of a disrespectful run by, but there's no better way to scout your opponent than get up in their grill and start murdering their workers. The roach is already on the way across. Cure didn't even bother walling off. It looks like he's going to evacuate to the high ground and let the Banshees do what they do best, which is completely deny anything in the early game. Ragnarok just turning around. It was a Mac Roach build. Enough roaches to completely shut down Hellions, but not enough to really stall out your economy for so long that you have no hope of moving into the mid-game. So, Ragnarok with 50 drones and a lair behind this. The Banshee being used for some high ground vision. Marines will eventually, alright, we'll get there. Get them, boys. Down goes the Overlord. And, unfortunately, the Overlord did not have the time to, as we all know from the lore, pick up the Marine. Oh my! You can attach the Marine gun to it. It's so lore accurate. But if you didn't pick up your, anyways, you can't get it now. I don't know why. This isn't an ad. I'm very excited. The newest plushies are the best. If I was to lay my head on any StarCraft unit, I think an Overlord is essentially an airbed would be it. And actually, that and the Infestor. They're so... they've got a lot of mass to them. In my review, 10 out of 10 would squish again. Thus ends Winter's plushie review for today. But tune in next time. Like, subscribe, and ask me what sort of soft, fluffy things I should review next. Speaking of something completely different, roaches, not known for being soft and fluffy. Maybe a little more so. Mutalisks. Muta's potentially the choice here. An interesting one at that. Rarely made, but Cure is known for his both incredible macro and somewhat lackluster micro. He is my favorite participant of residing beneath a bus that I may or may not throw him under, metaphorically, as he relies entirely on that ability to keep producing units and eventually overwhelm his opponent. as opposed to the pinpoint multitasking micro that some flashier Terrans try to wave in front of their opponents. But Cure just is almost an inevitability. It just has so many units to bring to bear that even if you kill one group of them, and you probably will, the rest are coming for you. Well, we'll have to see here. There's 8 Mutalisks on the way. Always exciting to see. 1-1 is about to complete already for Cure. Zerglings around the Hellions over to the left flank, but that means Ragnarok is completely out of position to deal with this double drop. Loses a queen immediately. Marines sliding in, targets down another one. Picks up, gets out. Is that beyond? Beautiful target fire there, and survives the Baneling, or at least escapes the Banelings, but completely and utterly blindsided by the Mutalisks. Is Cure. Widowmine will burrow, though. Okay, maybe completely, but not utterly. I won't go that far, as he did have a turret in the main. Does have some basic protections against the Mute. It's already 5 kills so far. This has clearly slowed down any other progress on the map for Cure, though. And he is not going to be able to take out too much else. Okay. It's 2 tanks, but only loses 2 Mutas. So far, so... Oh my god, they're all dead. They're all dead. Everyone's dead. Well, that Mutalisk showing why it's such a Muta risk. Just like that, sliced out of the sky by the Marines. A bit of a panic cloak out of Cure. 10 more Mutas on the way. If at first you don't succeed, make a whole bunch more of the most expensive lair tech unit and hope for the best, as the saying goes. +2, +2. However, halfway done here for Cure. He's got concussive shells, +1 mech armor on the way. Thors, mines, multiple factories, 4th command center. It's all coming together. Whereas Ragnarok has not even finished his 1-1. He's got 82 drones. He's got a lot of hatcheries. He just started his infestation pit. So, this is going to come down to whether or not Ragnarok has the sheer amount of units to keep up with the cost effectiveness of Cure's mid-game army. Because right now, the Marines, the Mines, the Medevacs, and even the Marauders are going to be more than a match for Ragnarok's relatively brittle Zerg here. Though, as many times is relevant with Zerg, the numbers truly matter. The sheer amount of Lings and Banelings he's able to put on the field. He's at 200 supply. Should be starting that hive yesterday, but today works, as that is the only way he's going to be able to progress his tech aside from just overwhelming numbers. There we go. The hive starts. The last checkbox to fill in, as right now both players at exactly 81 workers. Pretty decent spread here, trying to bait into the Widow Mine, lines up a shot. Ragnarok realizes the last moment before a huge hit on the center mass of the Zerglings. Working on some more of the creep. The creep not particularly oppressive. Banshee's still alive. Mutas will fly in the general area and try to force it to the ground. And also yell about bringing an Overseer. Alright, we found one. But unfortunately, this gave Cure a lot of space, as Ragnarok a bit distracted. Cure now setting himself up, has the mines spread out. Few Marauders at the front line. Accidentally picks up a few units in the Medevacs. That's why he's the People's Terran. We've all been there. Banelings, though, rolling in. Straight through. Supply depots into the mineral line. A dozen SCVs, and then some. Bunker down. Roaches and Lings traded out for a great economic hit. Ragnarok finally finds an opportunity. Widowmine connects on everyone nearby. Marauders dropping out onto the Banelings. Cure still pressing the issue over to the left flank. Meanwhile, the Mutas might actually take out the orbital command, as there's not that many Marines at home. Zerglings and Banelings looking to overrun. 2-2 is done. This exact moment, but the Banelings cut down over half of them with the Widow Mine. Still a couple banelings rolling in, force back the Bio Army. He's gonna get the orbital! Oh my god, I really didn't believe it when I said it. I just kind of threw it out there, but he gets the orbital. The Mutalisks are able to knock it down. And Cure, he does suffer some significant losses, but he's easily able to replace the units on the field. A hive is done for Ragnarok, but it appears he didn't quite know what he wanted to do with it. He's now getting the Hydralisk Den, angling towards lurkers. No Ultralisk Cavern. Drones transferring into the fire of the Marines and the Marauders. The creep spread is not particularly great right now, but it's not required, as he's already across the map. The Mute is helping to break through. The Marauder is holding the door, and will do so long enough that the reinforcements are able to come back and cut off the Lings and the Mutas. The hatchery actually survived over to the left. A lot of drones as well. So far, the exact sort of messy exchange from these two that I expected to see, and in fact even more so, as we've gone solidly into the later game, with neither player able to land a critical blow, but still taking a ton of damage across the board. So far, Ragnarok has lost almost double the minerals and triple the gas. Not such a huge number so far, 11,000, 3,000, but trying to even the numbers a bit by taking out a Thor with just Zerglings. Muta's over to the right, just trying to hold on. Lurker Den on the way. Better late than never, indeed here, as there are no ghosts on the field, no liberators, nothing that's going to deal with that. A turret lining things up better for the planetary. Cure. 200 supply. Ragnarok just a few supplies shy. He's got a bunch of the hive tech ready to kick in, but right now not ready yet. Drop into the main. A lot of Zerglings and Banelings. This distracted for long enough to open up an opportunity to attack into the center. Over to the left. Here we're gonna take out 2 bases, and Ragnarok is knocked back to 4. 200 supply apiece. They just can't quite bring these armies to bear on each other. Lurker upgrades on the way. We'll finally burrow 2 Ghost Academies in production, as well as 3 command centers, as Cure realizes we're going indeed to the end game. 3-3 about to complete, but there's no time. Whoa, Widow Mines connecting. Drawing the shots into the medevacs and the Marines. Ragnarok doing a good job of diffusing the situation. 3-3 is done now. Cure still at 200 supply despite the losses. Rebuilt immediately. The Lurker upgrades are done. Widow Mines need to be dealt with. Neo Steel Armor and High-Sec Auto Tracking are on the way as well, as Cure fills in the blanks on that engineering bay. Alright, so for 15 minutes, we've been throwing punches. And for 15 minutes, they've been landing. But neither side that much worse for the wear. Ragnarok still has been more cost and effective, but he's got lurkers now, and to be honest, there hasn't been that much lost overall. More, oh my god! Well, that changed a bit. That hit like 20 Banelings in a single Widow Mine connection is definitely going to soften things up. But Ragnarok immediately rebuilds a similar number. We got Blue Flame on the way, going for the Hell Chats. It looks like is Cure, though a long way off the +3 mech weapons upgrades. He's just now halfway through +1. Banelings roll in, Lurkers burrowed. The front line will be sliced and diced, trying to split and stim. Here comes Ragnarok again, up the center. Retreating his Cure into the medevacs, abandoning the SCVs and the planetary to their fate, trying to drop out right into the Banelings. More planetaries vulnerable. A dozen SCVs down. Lurkers slicing through the army, and Cure is devastated on all fronts. He walked into the Lurkers, and he ate the Banelings directly. And just like that, he bounces back. His 150 supplies back on the table, building ghosts and tanks. And with this many mules, it's going to be, well, and then some. Ragnarok has maintained pretty much a near unchallenged income lead throughout all this. Ooh, the Widow Mine's taking some bites. But that momentarily, I think, will change. Or at least it's gonna get a little bit close. Yep. The mule peaks. But wait, there's more. Another set of Lings and Banes slam into the planetary and take it out. But there's an orbital standing right by, or flying. What in the heck? Well, that's crazy, but I'm not even sure what's going on there. But eventually finds the right place to land. Well, Kira down to 51 SCVs, which is honestly not a bad number to have at this stage of the game. That means his army supply is going to be quite huge. And still has 6 orbital commands. Which means he has plenty of mules to call upon. Ragnarok is maxed out yet again. Both these players have done terrible, terrible damage. But neither has been able to get anywhere close to a critical blow. It looked like Ragnarok actually wiped out almost 80 supply of Kira's army. But he immediately rebuilt within 30 seconds or so. Was back, and now he's back nearer 200. And this is a scarier 200 than the previous army by far. Marines, mines, and medevacs are difficult, but can be dealt with directly. Ghost, Liberator, Siege tanks, Hellbats are a bit more of a complicated endeavor. And, well, Cure is up to 12 Ghosts. He's got 5 tanks, 2 Liberators. There's 13 Lurkers on the field as we've quite directly and clearly transitioned into the late game. A nuclear missile is being researched, a dangerous tool. Thor's on the way. And is Kira dropping his own base? He's speeding his Marines into... Okay, he doesn't want to get a Nidus? I'm not sure. Something had to be done. Spine crawlers, everybody's kind of tired themselves out. There is no easy way to attack anymore, as both players have the basic defenses they need for everything but the most committed attack to be thrown back. So, settle in. Greater Spire, +1 flyer attack, neural parasite, burrow. We got a fusion core, which advanced ballistics, yeah. Okay, it's probably advanced ballistics. But there's always options on the table. Looks like Broodlords are going to be the choice. Ghost dramatically dying, assuming it was trying to go for a nuke. Catch one of those outlying bases, distract Ragnarok ideally. But we've slowed things down. The lurker count, 13. A second spire is on the way to double up on those spire upgrades. Gold base is being taken. Scans across the board. 8 orbital commands now. He's almost got the number that you can scan pretty much whenever your first one runs out. Yep, that's a bird's... Okay, the Marines come up and deal with it. Meanwhile, though, the Lurkers will dunk forward, trying to slice through the frontline defenses. Get some of the tanks. Takes out the turrets. Vehicle weapons level 2 completed as Cure's mech army grows in strength. Lurker didn't realize what was happening over there. Ghost running back. He's got 11 of them. Cure has had an aversion in the past to having particularly many ghosts, limiting his count to like 7 or 8. I do think you need that kind of oppressive double-digit number. Same with the Lurkers, though, as well. For similar reasons. You just need that number in order to make sure you can deny all the stuff you're supposed to be countering that. Lines up the snipes. Guns down 4 Lurkers. As they retreat, Terran's always a big fan of shooting things in the back. Broodlords on the way, 9 of them. He was just freeing up supply. And he did. But now we gotta go into the units. Oh my. 8,300 to 3,400, but both players have now huge armies worth thousands of gas. 11 Broodlords going for the Wow, even a Ventriascan in the wild. Cure, embracing his inner Bronze League hero, which is never too far from the surface. This hatchery a bit optimistic. Keeps Cure busy for now. Medevac finally comes out of the main, shooting down his own Medevacs in order to free up supply. A dozen Medevacs might have been a bit much. 55 SCVs, leaving a lot of army supply potential. Lurker slips into the back. Scan, yeah, Cure truly embracing. I think a lot of Terrans don't truly embrace the power of the. I don't even know how many orbitals we actually. Oh my god, we broke the UI. I can't tell how many orbitals there are. He has too many buildings. All right, looks like for some reason a building got destroyed or consolidated, but he has 8 of them. But apparently that's the edge of the UI there. Nuclear missile launched. As Cure is looking to undercut. Oh, come on, Ragnarok. Thought he's gonna walk right into it. Gets a creep tumor, damages the hatchery. Builds another nuke as well. I think overall Cure is a little more confident at this stage of the game, but this, finally, the Broodlords are online. The Thors have 2-2 going on 3-3 though. And with 6 Thors, even 16 Broodlords, well, you're gonna be hard-pressed to get too much done. Alright, looking for, gets another one, gets the Overseer. There's a dozen, 15, 18 creep tumors on the way. As Ragnarok tries to consolidate what he can, but in order to get vision, Cure just launches a volley of scans directly at these unsuspecting spore crawlers. So, this is the point of the game where we gotta start thinking about win conditions. And like in every Bronze League Heroes match, I must mention, in order to win a game of StarCraft 2, you must destroy all your opponent's buildings. And right now, it's getting closer and closer to the point where we have to determine exactly how are you going to accomplish that. Because, of course, the vast majority of games end before that happens. But a significantly lower percentage of Cure's games, as, of course, Terran buildings can fly. The double siege for both sides. We've got Liberator Siege Tank up against Lurker Broodlord. Rapid reignition thrusters. The Medevac speed upgrade. Well, how many times have we seen this? Cure's about to have enough sensor towers to cut off the map and enough scans to scout the rest of it. Ragnarok, he's lost 4,000 more gas and 12,000 more minerals, but they both mined a huge amount more than that as the final 3-3 upgrades are coming in. Even +3 Flyer and +2 Carapace in the air on the way. The Thor count is at 10 with 11 ghosts as well. He's, was that really... Okay, he yanks out a Liberator, and it only costs him like 4 Corruptors. Ragnarok has managed to take the corner base here, nearest to Cure's main, whereas yeah. Classic. Another volley of scans. The orbital count is off the screen. At this point, I think I can be confident in saying the orbitals are off the charts. As at least 8 of them. I don't know how many more he's been building. Gonna get some of these drones here. As Cure is eliminating the corner bases in this bingo game. a key strategy. Another nuke on the way. More Broodlords. So Ragnarok has landed on the Broodlords. Feudalism is back in style as the queens and the Broodlords will gather up the overlords as well nearby. Gather up all your lords and your royalty here on Royal Blood. He's not dark, though. At the end of the day, I have to ask myself, when we get into a situation like this, is it dark? And at this point, while Thor's versus Ragnarok might be an epic and thematically appropriate duel, I'm not sure about the Broodlords. Ragnarok, you can't say he's not committed, though. He's got 25 of them. Nuke lands. That Spore Crawler obliterated at nuclear hellfire. Flyer attacks level 3, which is the initial Broodlord throwdown. When they whip out those Broodlings, that is what the flyer attack affects there. And then the Broodlings on the ground benefit from the melee upgrades in Carapace. Was he killing some of his own units there again? Yanks in the Thors, all the better to shoot down your units with. Ragnarok building 17 more Overlords. 18 more Overlords, which is almost as many Overlords as you need to max out overall. Like 20 Overlords. I guess that's what. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know how you, like, that is so many Thors. He's got 11 Thors. That's so many Thors. I mean, I have no more, I have no further commentary. I've got no more Thor Ragnarok jokes to make. I'm just gonna have to keep repeating. In order to win a game of StarCraft 2, you gotta kill all your opponent's buildings. And it's gonna come down to whether Ragnarok can figure out and break the cost efficiency. You have to ask yourself at the end of the day, what would Dark do? Which is a dangerous question because it leads down a dark path, which is the intent. No puns, all puns intended. Moving on. Infestors. Enough, like 17, not 5, not 6, not 8, like 24 infestors. Not Broodlords. I think from the games that I've seen of Dark, where he's gone the distance, even with Cure, it's gotta be, because very simply, those Terran units are so good that you need to borrow them. The best way to counter this army is with this army. Some neural parasites on the Thors, even the Ghosts, may very well be what Ragnarok needs. The sheer number of Broodlords. Like, ship weapons on the way, just unleashing a barrage of Broodlings. An absolute deluge. But at the same time, the center bases, which still have a pretty healthy amount of minerals and some of the gas, are being taken out. You're gonna carve 3 away here. Nuclear I mean, we're at the stage of the game where I ask, like, but why though? No, Dronicus! Oh! Well, he lived a relatively meaningless life, gathering long-distance mining gas, and thankfully now, his life as a worker drone is over. Somehow still, these two are still maxed out, and unable to land a killing blow. What is the Liberator count? 7 Liberators. There's the Infestor. Neural Parasite on one of the Thors. There's nothing quite in range. He just blasts apart his own Thor. Which is certainly one way to do it. Another nuke. Okay. There's some drones here, but like, Well, he doesn't. Like, that is more than half of the rest of his drones. And they will be pulled in one of the more awkward scenarios. As the nuke lands, the drones will claw the ghost apart. Ragnarok is making Zerglings, which is never a great sign at this stage of the game. He's got 32 Broodlords. Which is a lot of brood. I don't know. That's so many. Well, I do cure truly the people's Terran. You know, for every single game that a Terran loses because of a few neural parasites, you get that YouTube commenter, you my friend, who's like, why don't Terrans build one Raven? Well, here's Cure with one Raven. And that Raven with some immense potential. An anti-armor missile on those Broodlords, not that the Thors aren't already doing a huge amount, it's literally high impact mode, but slightly higher impact. Ragnarok is running out of mining. Wow, that is quite a trend. Feels like he ran out of ideas about 20 Broodlords ago. Anti-armor missile gives a Dorito dusting to a majority of the Broodlords, which could actually make the Liberators a really viable anti-air option. That is the real benefit, is the Liberators usually hit for mostly emotional damage against air. But with the anti-armor missile increasing it by a couple on each of the anti-air splash. Back in the good old days, the Liberators just used to do a pretty significant amount of flak. Those changelings getting gunned down. Ragnarok backed into a corner, literally and figuratively. As Cure has yet to win a decisive battle. But it feels like he's already won the war. To be honest here, Ragnarok is like, he just never got, well, here we go. Just unleashing the broodlings. The Thor's in kind of an awkward spot to fight anything here. The command center goes down. A handful of Hellbats. Anti-armor missile on most of the broods. No Vikings at all. The Liberator count is down to 2. It's just Thors. It's so many Thors, though. Oh my god. Spinecrawler deals with the Hellbats. Ragnarok has less drones than he started with. Cure is truly embodying like a ladder. Oh, here we go. Just so many broodlings unleashed onto the field for their short, eventful lives. Ragnarok has no more income. It looks like those losses really adding up here. Just coats another round of the broods. Well, Cure is running out of real estate here. He's backed into a corner, which, you know, is not really where Thors work their best magic. Anti-armor missile could come in one more time. He's really used that anti-armor missile so well. And this is gonna be it. The Thors trying to pound their way through. The Broodlords chewing through the heavy armor of the Thors. Anti-armor missile certainly helping, though I'm not sure to what extent. Thors battling it out. Borrows a few of them. The Thors turned against each other. The Broodlord count is so damn high. And Ragnarok may actually roll through this army. He actually managed to do it. He backed him up against the corner of the map, essentially, and chewed through. And the entirety of the bank will be expended in rebuilding the army. The problem is, can Ragnarok do it one more time? As Cure had so much money in the bank that he was able to rebuild the majority of these units, if not the entire army. Is there enough in the tank for one more win here for Ragnarok? That was the best it was gonna. Maybe some lurkers added in. Those are changelings. The map is bonding out. Kira with a planetary fortress on the, quote, wrong side of the gold. There are 10 orbitals. There is no reason Kira truly embracing late game Terran, which is essentially having map hacks for the price of half dozen APM. As there is no reason that he should lose track of that army. The orbital commands have more than enough scans to continually keep tabs on the brute. I'm actually surprised he's not. Yeah, he's chasing. Yeah, there you go. That's more like it. The Ventria scan. Kira doing all the things that on paper you're supposed to do, according to the Twitch chat and the YouTube commentaries. But so many Terrans just neglect, much to their own detriment, many times. A ghost dies, that last gasp nuclear missile. I gotta say, though, at the end of the day, the planetary spotted. He's mined most of these minerals. We're actually running out. Kira has played such a patient game against anyone who isn't dark. Kira becomes such a confident player. Okay, not so much confident as at least relaxed. This has felt like quite a relaxed. Kira has built up that late game army. He never really committed outright to a fight he didn't already know he was going to win until his back was up against the wall. And now, as push comes to shove again, Ragnarok is left without really any legs to stand on. He just, like, the Broodlords, even the nuke's going to land and get something. It's not like Kira has a ton of money in the bank. But his army right now is... I don't know. Yanks in. The amount of liberators that have been yanked out of siege mode for dramatic effect is a bit concerning. At some point, I think Parasitic Bomb is probably your better option. Ragnarok has been pulling out the Prima strategy guide, calling up Dark, like, paid him for a cameo, like, Dark, please, help me. He's like, just building festers, bro. Well, that's not gonna be enough of him, I don't think. Parasitic Bomb. The Terran army has rebuilt 162 supply of fully upgraded Terran. GG. Ragnarok is knocked out. A cure found for that late game Zerg. Honestly, at no point, maybe the moments when those Thors died, did Cure really look in doubt. But neither player really able to land a decisive blow. Cure wins the War of Attrition. One of the most clear wars of attrition I have seen, as he grinds Ragnarok down and claims victory on the corpses of thousands, 100,000 minerals and 34,000 gas, most of the map mined out. Cure is your victor. Thank you for enduring that with me. I hope you endure more in the future. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Well, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.